Another video. Yep, it keeps happening. Got a big glove on that I'll use for carrying the post later. Protect my shoulder. Anyway, continuing. You know, it just never ends, this crap. I don't know when, well, whatever. I guess one of us just have to give up. The arguments are just so bad now. They're just pitiful. I mean, we're back to arguing the connection between sex and procreation, as if that hasn't been over for a long, long time. It's only the most uncivilized people on this planet who are stuck in the position of having to combine sex and procreation. So this shouldn't even be a subject. Nobody, anti-natalists aren't anti-sex. They say fuck it as often as you like. Fucking is great. Vaginas are great. It's the uteruses that are kind of troublesome, and the ovaries. But whatever. So now he's attempting to slander anti-natalists as being misogynist, anti-woman. So it's like if women said we don't like being raped, they're being anti-male. Is that the appropriate argument? I mean, the fact is that women have the higher responsibility. It's like people getting cats spayed and neutered. Well, obviously the more important thing to get done is to get the females fixed. And that's just the truth of it. That's just the way the biology works. The women carry the fetuses, okay? So they have the higher responsibility. Penises create most of the molestation and rape. So men who have penises are more responsible. They have to be more wary of that negative potential of their penis. This is the way the world works, and we're all smart enough to know this. And so this is a conversation for some other universe. So anyway, Smile and Andy's argument is that there's no control. We can't stop it. It owns us. It's beyond our control. And here I've pointed it out over and over and over again. If you went by the birth rates of 85% of the human race would go extinct. The average human has no interest in having a bunch of children, and it does sort of require a bunch of children, especially in a world where many people choose to go childless. That means the people who do choose to have children need to have many children to overcome the fact that many people choose to have no children, rationally, sensibly, responsibly, and even selfishly. They see no point in it. They see no function. They don't need something to molest. They're not molesters, so they don't need children for anything. So again, we are so far past this argument. It's an inane, it's a slander. Like I said, this is just a slander to claim that we're misogynist because we're against reproduction. It's just grotesque, an argument. And so he'll get away with it again, slandering people, lying. I mean, he's got to know there's a separation between sex and procreation, that lots of people can have lots of different kinds of sex that don't go anywhere near procreation. Not even a tiny chance of the fetal creation. So it's just a lie. So anyway, what else did he say? Yeah, it's just this inevitability argument, again, which is the argument that's totally defeated. There's every indication that if civilization and progress were to continue on its present course, if humanity survived another couple of hundred years, which I doubt it will do in its current form, we would be at negative population growth. That the average person born would be smart enough, educated enough, life actualized enough that they would see little purpose, little function in sacrificing 18 years of their existence, picking boogers out of the nose of whiny brats. That wouldn't make it, that wouldn't be sufficient a life for them. They would have way too many better choices way too much, way better things to do with their time. So that wouldn't make it. Hey, pups. Hi. So yeah, that's not a no sale. So again, like I said, these arguments have been, we've been over this stuff. So it's clear that Andy isn't going to respond to any of the counter arguments that have already been made to this nonsense. He doesn't understand science and biology at all, and he's just going to talk out of his ass. And yeah, you're allowed to do that on YouTube. And all I can do is lament that people who consider themselves atheists, consider themselves rational, consider themselves fair-minded, would accept his slanderous straw man arguments as legitimate and valid, and like they had any integrity. He's made no effort to respond to in any kind of substantive way in any of his videos, the comments that have been made, the responses that have been made to his nonsense. He's read a couple of short comments. He made a response video to a 10-second video by Determinist 1 because it conveniently gives him an excuse to run away. Oh, he stuck his finger at me. Oh my God, it totally discombobulated my thinking process. I didn't know what to do. I wet my pants and then I pooed my pants. And then I got scared and ran under the carpet and hid and prayed for Mujo Bojujo to come save me. I mean, what's your fucking excuse? You're such a damn pussy. You're afraid of fucking words, and it's a fact. You're afraid of words. They bother you. They upset you. They disengage you. Fucking words. And then you'll talk about how harm doesn't matter. Dying in a war doesn't matter. Having your guts ripped out and slowly dying of exposure over a 4-day period has no consequence, but you're afraid of fucking goddamn bad words. I mean, really hilarious. So anyway, yeah, there's not much else in this reproduction video he said except this idea that he says it's a function of the universe, which is nonsense. It's obviously the properties of matter, okay? The fact that they can combine into compounds has provided the opportunity for a strange occurrence, okay? It's only happened once in all of known universal history. Yes, that a replicating molecule can be trapped inside a mechanism that uses it as a blueprint for evolution. The molecule evolves, and a device is created that confirms the functionality of the changes to the molecule. We are not evolving, the molecule is evolving. It's a very specific kind of replication, a very specific kind of evolution. And without that structure, even if you found something that could replicate itself, it couldn't do it with any kind of sufficient permutations of change to ever evolve. Evolution requires the existence of a changing molecule to increase the mutatability of the end product. So why am I saying that's another science lesson? Yeah, well, these assholes need to go back to 5th grade, learn some biology, learn some basic physics, and get with the program. Because these are answered questions, especially now. They were answered when I went to school. They're double answered now. They'll be triple answered as the more time passes, the more inescapable they become. They can only be escaped now through strangled efforts at perverting the facts. How you doing? Hey, pup. Looking dog. Anyway, like those pit bully types. Where was I? Yeah. Yeah, so this is really, no one's calling this guy on this crap. except for the people he's offending, the people he's slandering, the people he's attempting to put words in their mouth and activities in their bodies. The fact that women have the higher responsibility in procreation is just a fact. All right, if men had uteruses and men were the ones that made it possible for the baby to go to term, then men would be holding that bag. It's just idiotic to imply a bigotry because people deal with a factual circumstance. There's no women hating here. There's ignorance hating, stupidity hating, reckless hating. This whole idea, this arrogance of imposing your silly fairy tale notions of reality on a new being. The offensiveness of that is in your face. It's not difficult to understand why that steps beyond a certain line, that presumptiveness, that aggressiveness to assume for another being that they're going to find the world you've created for them acceptable. That's a pretty heavy presumption. To do it without a great deal of humility and caution, without being sure you're right, is an act of overt recklessness. That's the definition of recklessness. A lack of concern, a lack of caution. These people can be demonstrated to be ignorant, unknowledgeable, and yet they behave as if their ignorance gives them rights. I mean, it's a ludicrous convolution of any kind of logical assumptions. The logical assumption is to equate ignorance with mistakes, errors. That's how you make messes, is to be unknowledgeable. Let's see, anything else? I've sort of beat it to death, but I don't want to miss the opportunity to beat it to death some more. Yeah, I think I'll walk off this other pile if I don't get bitten by anything like beastly rats or something. Oof, I like this one. I don't like that it's wet though. It's got a funny patch in it. Alright, I'll do it with this one maybe. This one looks a little better. Ooh, me likey. Yeah, me likey a lot. Alright, I gotta move a little quickly here. Can't be too picky. And the last one I brought broke. I knew it was a little flimsy. I should have said, don't take that one, Gary. It's flimsy. This one's sturdy. This one is rock solid. A manly piece of wood. Ooh, a manly piece of wood. That's kind of funny. Okay. I believe I've got my balance correct. Leave us venture off. Alright. Let me get through this woods first. So where was I? Okay, yeah, inevitabilities. Obviously it's not inevitable. Obviously I was created by the universe. I mean, this whole notion that the universe only creates needling humans, like the universe only creates slave owners of, a few hundred years ago. No, it creates all kinds of different people. The identity of the human race is completely up to controlled by all kinds of ideology. Currently, the Christians and the Muslims dominate, but that certainly doesn't have to be. And so, I'm going to attempt my takeover. And I don't do it through genetics. I do it through memes, ideas, an understanding of reality. And my understanding of reality isn't that there's no value in the world. That preposterous notion that there is no value is idiotic. This is another important argument here. When these subjectivists say that it's subjective, they're really saying there is no value. I mean, be clear on that point. You can't argue for contradictory definitions of something as important as value. So as soon as they say it's subjective, they're just meaning the notion of value is completely a contrivance of your consciousness, your individual consciousness. And there is no real value in the world. That suffering does not, in fact, matter at all. And if you can't see that as a preposterous notion from your own personal experience, from the experience of every person you've no doubt loved, all I can do is pity you. I can pity your foolishness, your stupidity, your grotesque ignorance. Not to be able to say, a crying kitten in distress is in need of attention, and it would be best that it get attention. If you can't utter that as an absolute truth, you're silly. If you can't say if a bear's ass is on fire and it's running through the woods, making my ass is on fire noises, and if you can't figure out that it would be good for that bear to have that fire extinguished, you're an idiot. You're too preposterously stupid to even consume oxygen. You shouldn't be allowed to consume oxygen because you're disgracing the oxygen. You're disgracing your own shit. You shouldn't be able to fart because you're disgracing methane. You're a preposterous combination of atomic structure. If you can't know these things, you're insulting every scummy quanta in the universe. You're offending its dignity. Not to be able to recognize that a bear's ass should be extinguished. Fuck you, you're crazy. You're homicidally, maniacally insane. You are so fucktarded that your head is up your ass and you're puking it out your nose. You're just the scum of the earth. There's nothing else to say. Better to be wrong in defining value than to be so preposterously wrong to say value doesn't exist. That's just too fucking crazy. It's like somebody arguing against seatbelts by saying, cars don't have accidents, people have accidents, or some kind of other idiotic thing. Like somehow the accident never happens, therefore you don't need a seatbelt. You're just denying a fundamental reality of what it is to be sentient. You are pissing on the very concept of life and intelligence. Cool, there was a fish. I guess it was a crayfish. Sort of a big one. Oh, I missed him. Anyway. Ow. Even with my cushion on my shoulder. Oh, this thing's heavy. Yeah. So I think that covers it. Anything else? Can you think of? Yeah, well, anyway. But again, we have some more absolute statements. They can absolutely say that value doesn't exist, that it's subjective, and they know that to be a fact. Hilarious. Yet no other fact can be stated as a fact. Only their facts. Just amazing. Amazing hypocrisy, amazing duplicity, and amazing slander that the atheist community apparently endorses merely because he's appealing to their emotions. They don't like the people who say having babies is bad. So yeah, he's their defender, and he's defending lies. And it's okay. Liars on their side are okay. Yep, you revealed your hypocrisy, your duplicity. You people suck. Plain and simple. Anyway, until next time. Such and so forth and whatnot. Ooh. Yeah, fence is going well. Almost done. Until next time.